Today we will talk about XRP, XLM, USDC, and how Ripple XRP and Stellar XLM are all tied into the exact same people. We have an upcoming digital assets summit in London, and here are some of the sponsors. We've got Ripple and XRP, Circle and USDC, and you have the SDF and XLM, but I want to concentrate on Anchorage. Anchorage Digital Assets is the only crypto native bank to hold a charter from the U.S. Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. As an unequivocal qualified custodian, Anchorage Digital Bank works closely with its regulators to meet stringent compliance, and XRP is called out as one of the supported assets. And that post was in response to this post here about Securitize, which is the leader in digital assets securities, bringing together businesses who want to raise capital with individuals and institutions wanting to invest in private capital markets. And one of the investors is Ripple. And here is the huge piece of information out of all of this. Here is an email that is from an account executive from Goldman Sachs. Now, it comes from a Gmail address, so it might have been some private communications. I cannot affirm that at this point. However, the content lines up with a lot of things I'm about to explain. We don't disagree. We think with the current market situation, the real helpful piece of information to focus on is the bank established recently in Anchorage. The hope for the coming days, based on what we see, is predicting the end of March or early April for a full transition and reestablishing one combined ledger. Once the market is flooded with the real volume of available shares, we are seeing a real-time price of 260 based on estimates of the real market evaluation. Hopefully, these numbers will be realized with the new transitions being introduced. And that was all about XRP. And that was sent on January 15th of 2021. And on April 7th of 2021, which was after Anchorage was brought up under Goldman Sachs, you have a post from the account whose name I will not say on here that is referring to the Northern Lights, which is a phenomenon that would be extremely common in Anchorage, Alaska, which comes back to Northern Lights and Anchorage, Alaska. And here is the board of Anchorage Digital Assets. You've got Chris Dixon on there, who is associated with Ripple, Andreessen Horowitz, and Goldman Sachs. I have talked about this a couple of times, which comes from a Goldman Sachs presentation in the investment banking division, talking about an opportunity in payments. And it talks about Ripple right here and how financial institutions can expand payment offerings into new markets that are otherwise expensive or difficult to break into. And it talks about USDC because it allows to accept payments with legacy rails that settle in digital currency. And it allows international customers pay with their preferred payment from traditional rails like cards and bank transfers to blockchain rails that include the internet in one unified API. And the extremely deep connection here into some of the content that I have been hinting about comes back to Securitize and Anchorage Digital Assets, because they have partnered with Decurrent on tokenized deposit settlement.